Okay, so I've got quite a bit of my pile knocked out. I'm to the point where I'm ready to box some of it up and get it sent out, and then I'll tackle the books. So mostly I've scanned in the media and the games and puzzles, and now I'm going to print out the labels to put on the items. But before I do that, there were three VHS tapes that I'm sending in as a set, and so I need to polybag those together. So I'm going to put them in. Oopsies, look what I just noticed. Uh-oh. Ruh-roh, Shaggy. My high dry erase to get that off. Better check the rest real quick. Thought I got them all. Alright, so then these are going into a poly bag. So these are going to end up getting taped down because they don't want the bag to protrude more than a certain amount of inches or something like that. So that's poly bagged up and ready to get its label on it. So let me come over here. Scooch. And here is my shipment. Remember, I'm sending it all into one, and I'm paying the extra little bit per item so that I can just save my sanity. So review and modify units. I still need to print my labels out. So is this where I do it? Yep, here we go. Print labels for this page. And here they all pop up ready to go, and I need to stick in 4 label sheets. So these are the ones I have. Just Avery type labels. They're supposed to be repositionable because they are. That's the requirement. So I'm going to go stick those into the printer, get these printed out, and then we can start labeling. Labeling party at my house. So I got my labels all printed out. I print out like so. And then what I'll do basically is go through and start finding the items to put the labels on. Another thing is if I am sending in, let's say I'm sending in my patterns, I've got these poly bags that I slide them in, and I'll have to look up what size these are, and I can link it in the bottom. So I have on hand, I have a drawer over here that I keep all different sizes of poly bags that I might need for shipping things in. So like this went into a poly bag, and then I had this it was like a Serenity. It was like a little box with the book inside of it. Look at my mess. I'm trying to hide my mess, but my stuff keeps shifting. So yeah, the poly bags are good for things like this that have pieces that might come apart or packaging that might get damaged if it got wet or something like that. So yeah, like I said, I keep lots of different sizes of poly bags around for that reason. And then, so let me just do a quick, I left it out on purpose. So I take my pattern and I'll just slide it in. And you don't have to buy fancy poly bags. You can bag yourself, and then you have to get the label, the suffocation warning. They have to have that suffocation warning label on there. I mean, some people just print them off and stick them on, or some people shrink wrap. I don't shrink wrap. It's just everybody's got their own preference, you know. All right, so there we go. But this one still needs its label. So let me find that. All right, so once I find the label for the item, I need to make sure that this covers the barcode completely. And then if there's another barcode anywhere, this doesn't normally happen with this, but sometimes on books there's more than one barcode. What you'll do is just get a blank label. If I have one around here, you just get a blank label and cover it, cover the extra barcode with that, so that there's only one possible barcode that could be scanned. So once I have it labeled and everything polybagged, if I need to, then I put it in my over here stack, my stack of things that are labeled and ready to get boxed. So then that's pretty much it. The only thing that, like for example, I have 4 of these and I have the label on it, and sometimes, I don't know, sometimes it just prints out the one label because maybe I forgot to go in and say I have 4, so it needed to print out 4 labels. So I'll have to go back at the end and check that out and print off some more labels for the other 3 that I have of these. So here I have an example of this puzzle that has more than one barcode on it. I just wanted to show you what to do. So you'll see down here there's this barcode, and then there's these barcodes over here. So I've taken my barcode that I need to print off, that I printed off, and I've covered one of them. But I've also got to make sure I cover these ones up over here. So I always hang on to, you know, when I print off labels and there's sometimes a couple blank ones that are left over, I hang on to those for this, just this reason. So I come over and I need to cover those ones up with a blank one. So that's how I do it. That's how I do it. Right? And that goes on the pile. So another thing that, this is new for me, I've never sent in used, other than used books, used media. So so I'm sending in this, you know, you're in the Super Bowl, Charlie Brown. And again, I'm going to polybag it and seal it up before I put the barcode. This one doesn't even have a barcode. It's that old. Hang on. It's good to have a good stock or good selection of poly bags in case you need. There we go. So that's bagged up so it doesn't get separated in shipment or transit or whatever. And since there's no barcode to cover, I'll just kind of stick it on there. There we go. And it goes on the pile. It goes on the pile. And then we see what's next. Okay. Okay, so this is where I have to really watch out because I have got a lot of different types of blank VHS. And like these are Maxell brand, and these are Maxell brand, and these are Maxell brand. And I need to make sure that I get the right label on the right type of VHS. So when I look, let's see, Maxell video cassette HGX high grade. You know, let's take a look. High grade, does this say HGX? Nope. High grade, nope. Sometimes what I'll have to do is go and scan the barcode and have it pull the picture up for me, just so I make sure that I get it on the right one. And I see here there's only one printout too. So that means that it only printed one when it should have printed multiples, because I don't have any of them Maxells that I just have one of. So I'm gonna go pull that up and see what I can figure out. Alright, so I can scan it in, or I can come up here. Oops, let me tell you where I am. I went to all inventory, and it'll pop up manage inventory. So this is all the stuff that I have in my inventory. And here I can type in, I tried scanning it in earlier, but it said no inventory matches that. So that can't be right. So I'm going to type in Maxell video cassette. If I spell it right, I'm not even sure right now. HGX, and then it's like ... it goes on. So let's see what pulls up for that. So here it's showing, now I wonder, I must have scanned in two different ones. Well, let's just increase the price on that because they're exactly the same. So it's this one. Let me find my... Alright, so now I know it's this one. It matches up. But now I also know which ones I need to reprint because I only printed one label for it. So I'll need to get two more labels to go onto those. So I'll put that separate. Again, there are probably better ways, but I'm just sharing with you what I do and probably why it takes me so long to get a shipment out. So if you're watching this pulling your hair out going, oh my gosh, Margaret, there's an easier way, you should do this, please let me know because that would be awesome. But anyway, I'm going to just keep showing you what I do and my process for getting my FBA shipment scanned and shipped in. Okie dokie, so I have gotten to the point where I am pretty much out of labels, and I've got a few things, like I have some tapes that I know I scanned in, but the labels didn't pop up, so I'm going to have to go back in there and see what happened. This is my FBA video. Let's just leave it at that. And then one label popped up, and I've got 5 of these left, so I need to go print the extras for those. So what I do now that I've got some items that need barcodes, can't ever get this right, that need barcodes, I'll come back over to inventory, manage my inventory, and this is, you know, gives that big long list of everything, whether it's at the warehouse or not. And I'll come like this, for whatever reason this label did not print out, so I'll scan it. Maybe. There you go. So here it is, and I'm just going to select it and then wait. It'll remember it, trust me. Right here it says action on one selected, and now I'm ready to scan my next item that for whatever reason my label did not print out. Scan it, and it pops up, and then I select this. See, now it says action on 2 selected, so it remembers the one I already selected. And then this one, I didn't print out all the labels, it only printed out one. I'm going to come scan it and click it. I already looked it up. Wink. So this would go quicker. And then the last item, again, only one SKU, one label pulled up for this Disney. Scan it, it pops up, and then I click it. So action on 4 selected is what I've got, which is correct. I will drop down the menu and come to print item labels. And now here's where you've got to watch. Yes, yes, continue. So over here, it'll ask how many do you want to print. So on the TDK, I've got 2 of those, so I'll need to change it to 2. Maxell is 5. Sony just 1, and Disney is 4. So now it'll print that up, and you'll click print item labels. Yes, I will remember. Thank you. And then it pops up the, you know, print. I've already done it, so I'm not going to do it again. But I wanted to come back and show you that that's what you'll do if you need to, you know, you've got some items that you didn't get enough labels, or for whatever reason, the, you know, Amazon Gremlins ate the label and didn't put it on there. So now I'm going to go back and label everything else, and that's it. And we're ready to box it up Tetris style and send it on in. Woohoo! It only took me like 4 days. Okay, so the next step is to get the products into the boxes. I try not to make my boxes too big because I can't carry them if they get too heavy, and then I have to wait for my husband, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, here's my box. It's time to start packing it in. And I'm going to, like if I have a puzzle, I probably won't start with this one. I'll put the back up against the wall so that if something dinged the box, that the cover of the puzzle or game won't get messed up. So like it'll go in like that. And it takes, for me, it takes some practice, takes some time to get it right. So stay put, you. Nope. And that one's too tall. I just try to get them in as best I can in a way that they won't be damaged in transit. So let me make sure that's going to close on that one. This one has to come out. Let's see. I want to make sure that's going to close. It's a little too tall. You see that? Some of them are too tall, so they'll have to go flat, lay flat on another box. There we go. There we go. We're getting there. Nope, that's not going in there. So this is my first shipment where I am sending it all into one warehouse, which is really nice because so far I haven't had to worry about, am I putting it in the right box? Oh my gosh, I put it in the wrong box. So, it's been nice so far, just dropping them in the box. All the boxes are going to the same place. Okie dokie. Do I want to try to get more in there? Let's see. Okay, that's good. There we go. Okay, so now I need to make sure I've got some void filler, and I have some paper here somewhere. I've gotten everything into the boxes and they're all taped up. I'm going to shoot from the camera so you can see how I've got the boxes and what all I have to do to them in just a second. But I wanted to show you where I go to print my shipping labels. You'll come to Manage FBA Shipments. You'll click on Work on Shipment. And here is where you choose how you're going to ship it out. I am going Amazon, partner carrier UPS, and mine is a small parcel delivery. I don't need a truckload. And then here I will list how many boxes I have. I have 3. Set number of boxes. And here's where you'll come in and you'll enter in the dimensions of the boxes and how much they weigh. So let me pause and go do that, and then I'll come fill it in. Okie dokie. So here are my 3 boxes, and what I need to do is get them labeled and measured. So I put a 1 on there, and then I'm going to measure it. This is 16 by 18 by 10. And I just write it on there. 18 by 16 by 10. So when I go and enter it into the computer, I don't have to try to remember or whatever. Or if I'm not making a video, I can just enter it in right away. So there you go. And then I've got my scale. There are lots of different scales out there to weigh. Let me turn it on. And then I'll put it up. And it's 25.2 pounds. Now, if your box ends up being 50 pounds or more, you have to write on it team lift. I think they try to discourage you from making your boxes more than 50 pounds though. So that's box 1. This one I'm going to put a 2. This is box 2. You can't even see that. And it's at 24.4 pounds. And I've got 18 by 12 by 14. So 18, 14, 12. That's box 2. And then my last box, box 3. I've got 26.2 pounds. This is 18 by 16 by 10. Okay, I want to talk to you really quickly before I get off about this box. So as you can see, I'm using a Bed Bath & Beyond box, which is okay, but the problem is that there are some barcodes, and so you have to cover those up. So when I make my labels, I always cut off the part that doesn't end up getting printed on, And then I just use that to come back through and cover up any barcodes there might be. They're mostly pretty much taken care of, but I try to peel them off. But if I can't get them all the way off, I just come back through and put a bit of label that I've saved on it. And that is it. So now I'm ready to go print off my shipping labels. Okie dokie. So here's where I come find my box number 1 right here, and I have to enter in the weight. My weight is 25.2, and it normally fixes and rounds it for me or whatever. 18, 16, 10, 18 by 16 by 10. Box number 2 is 24.4. And then 18, 14, 12. And finally, box 3 is 26.2, 18, 16, 10 again. All right, and that is, all right, so here if I needed to, I could add another box, but I don't need to. Now I'm going to calculate my charges. All right, so that's not so bad. So those are my charges, accept charges. And those get taken off from my next payment, you know, when they send me my bill or my monies. And now I want to print my box labels. Alright, so I'm printing my box labels, and this is where the box number 1, box number 2, box number 3 comes in handy, because those have to get put on the right boxes for the weights and all of this, the measurements and everything. So that's it. Let me show you one more thing real quick. Let me go get them. So your labels pop up like so. And both of these have to go on the box, and they can't cover up the seam where the tape is, where they're going to slice through it. And then this is the portion down here that I cut apart and save, so that I can, what was I saying? So if I have any barcodes that need covering up on boxes, I've got that little bit left over. So this gets peeled. My mom. And that gets peeled. Where are you? Are you coming over? That's why I can't get anything done. Love you, Mom. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. So that was my 2-part how I choose and ship and box and everything into Amazon FBA. I have had a couple requests for how I deal with my books, so I will make a separate video sharing how I send in a shipment of books and categorizing them. Also, how I haven't learned it yet, but I'm going to learn how to create a new shipment, create a new item on Amazon, which I have not done yet. And I will share my process with you, so you can learn right along with me. Anyway, thanks so much for watching again, and make sure you enjoy yourselves. Bye-bye.